Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, September 25th through Saturday to come, October 3rd. Starting with the dice and getting right into it, beginning with romantic dinner, spend money. It's 50-50, and in the general reading, I saw the 29 staring at me. Now it's staring at you guys. 29 is all about spiritual partnership. So in this case, in the case of love, that will definitely be talking about soulmate relationships, twin flame relationships, divine unions. But also 29 has special meaning this week because on the 29th, we have Venus entering the sign of Virgo, for one thing. And we also have on the Christian calendar, the feast day of the archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. So talk about both of those things, as well as many other events that are occurring this week in the general reading at length. But in this one, we're not going to talk about them again. So, romantic dinner, spend money, and it's 50-50, as I said. But that 29, I think, means something too. Also, sex, looking me in the face, and sex came out in the general too. Spirit says, try again. Could be, we had the Hermit as an overall energy for at one point in the general reading. In terms of love, that can always be about a relationship from the past being rekindled. So it could be try again in an old relationship. Weekend away, maybe visiting each other, getting caught up, or maybe somebody taking some time to be by themselves. Just looking at the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands in reverse, but we'll get to that in a minute. This can be about needing a break, being tired. But I just talked about the Hermit and saying rekindle of relationships. Here's the Hermit yet again. He's here behind the 10 of Wands in reverse. So the last die was spend money. All right, so like I was saying, 10 of Wands in reverse in a general sense can be about being tired of delays that have been holding us up. We're ready to get to something. We're ready for something to be happening. In terms of love, you could be needing to wait on divine timing, and you're just tired of it. To heck with divine timing. This is bullshit, and so you want to move on. And that can mean that it's a good time for you to take some sort of break, maybe spend some time for yourself. Maybe you're the one going on a weekend away alone so that you can do that. Or you could be in search of more upbeat and positive people if you don't want to be alone with which to surround yourself, or you should be. Maybe that's a positive, that's a good idea. In terms of love, this can be about somebody that is maybe misleading you. They are distrustful. They are a manipulator, which also came up in the general. There was a manipulator that showed up. In fact, I named the reading something about narcissists. I forgot the exact title, but I used the word narcissist. Somebody is up to no good, and this can be the same thing. Could be about infidelity too. I can't even finish my sentences because of the cards that I opened to. So ultimately, the Knight of Pentacles was the overall energy in the general reading. We started out with the Hermit, and then this became the overall energy upright. A Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, very possibly. But getting back to the 10 of Wands, it could be about infidelity. You should consider if there's been any weird behavior or change in behavior, and maybe some truths that you've just haven't been facing that you need to face now. Mercury also enters Scorpio this week, and it will be in good part about facing truths, and getting to the depth, the root of something. Major Arcana card Judgment, card number 20, does represent the planet Pluto, ruler of the sign of Scorpio. And speaking of Mercury, it is Major Arcana card 6 in reverse, the Lovers, which most directly represents the sign of Gemini. I'll do one more, and it is the Queen of Pentacles, also in reverse. She's somebody who just wants to improve her environment, maybe her home, to make herself feel more at home, more comfortable. It's like if the world doesn't have anything to offer me, I can create my own space and be happy all by my lonesome. I can do bad all by myself, and same thing goes with good. And so I might as well make myself a nice space until the right partnership maybe comes around. Two of Wands in tarot represents soulmate relationships, divine unions, twin flame relationships. The Two of Wands is made up of the King and Queen of Wands that are representative of, the divine couple and partnership in the tarot. Twos in general are about faith. Two of Wands in terms of love can really be about getting swept off your feet. I know there's a few cards like that. Now, this doesn't look like being swept off your feet. It looks like maybe a soulmate, or again, twin flame, or some sort of divine union caused you pain, or perhaps will cause you pain. I think it's in the past, and they may want to atone for that sin this week. Every day this week, leading up to the 28th. Are days of atonement on the Hebrew or Jewish calendar, and culminating on the 28th with Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, the holiest day of the Jewish calendar. Also, it is followed by the Feast of Tabernacles, or Sukkot, which occurs on the last day for which this reading is, Saturday, October 3rd. And so basically all this week is about forgiveness and apologies and stuff. So it could be you're tired of waiting, but your wait might be over. And again, this could be like a soulmate relation. You could get swept off your feet or knocked off your feet, like with surprise, by somebody unexpectedly making an apology this week. All right, so I'm going to get the stands and pull 4 cards. Oh, okay, so I guess this is just going to be an extra one because it fell away, but it would have been the first card, and it was the first card in the general reading too, but upright. King of Swords upright was the first card. So this will be an extra card for everybody. The King of Swords, he belongs in reverse. Possibly a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Maybe Mercury himself, ruler of the signs of Gemini and Virgo, again, who enters Scorpio this week. Now, for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, your card is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 9 of Pentacles came out like 3 times in the general. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your card is the Empress upright, and she most directly represents the sign of Taurus as well as that of Libra. And Gemini, she is a representative of the planet Venus in the tarot. Venus this week enters Virgo, so maybe that's why she's showing up like this. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, 8 of Cups in reverse. And lastly, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It is the Hermit, yet again, upright. Let's see, the cards in frame. Here's the overall energy. All right, looks like everything's in frame, so let's get started. The King of Swords in reverse. Whether he's in reverse or he's upright, it's a very strong and forceful and masculine energy. This guy can be very opinionated and maybe even stubborn, perhaps to a fault. And what that can mean is like letting pride maybe or something like that get in your way, or because I made this decision, even if it's not the right decision, even if it doesn't make sense for me, I'm doing it. But because I entered this relationship, even though it sucks and I'm miserable, I'm staying in it, or whatever, like one of those types of things. So some of us, since it popped out sort of like for everybody, some of us may be like cutting off our nose to spite our face, if you're familiar with that expression, and doing something that doesn't feel good, or being in a relationship that doesn't feel good, or being single and that doesn't feel good, or whatever, like we're going against ourselves just for the sake of being stubborn and not budging, and maybe not being willing to take a risk or a leap of faith and follow our intuition, our gut feelings, or all those types of things. So just keep that in mind. Again, the Two of Wands, our real overall energy, can definitely be about getting swept off your feet. And again, twos are about balance and partnership and faith. But specifically, the Two of Wands, as it relates to the tarot, can be saying in terms of love that our relationships are about to get a lot more, balance, equality, equity. And we should, if we have any ideas about that, we should share them with a partner if we have one. If we're looking for love, however, then somebody that, again, could be a soulmate, a twin flame, divine union, just real love, could, they may already be part of our life, actually. And maybe that's what sweeps you off your feet, the surprise that this person is sort of coming out of nowhere, to profess their love, or we're suddenly looking at them in a different way. Um, Speaking of looking at them, be careful with this card not to like judge a book by its cover. And if somebody is interested in you, then, if you're really looking for love, you might want to be inclined to give them a chance, and you could really be surprised and find that this is the relationship that you've been looking for. So moving on specifically to the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Again, your card is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And this one says that if you're wanting to be successful in your relationships, then it's not going to just happen on its own, and it's going to require some sort of action from you. So this theme came up in the general reading as well, in the form of the Eight of Pentacles in the love and relationship placement, which is now the water sign placement. And we just have to put effort and take action with regard to our love life. Same thing if we're single, then we have to be willing to get out there and meet people. But if we're partnered, we have to be willing to communicate. And that includes not only talking, but also listening, and making sure that we set aside time for each other, or make time for each other, create time for each other, and create time for ourselves to keep ourselves healthy and nurtured as well as individuals before maybe coming together, or instead of always, coming together and being like joined at the hip, trying to keep ourselves healthy. So moving on to the, I'm sorry, that was the fire signs. I said the earth signs because it was the pentacles, but that was Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And maybe some of you earth signs will feel it, since it's usually what comes out of my mouth, even if I didn't mean to say it, or I don't know why I'm saying something, it tends to have a reason. Actually, I don't always know what the reason is, and I don't know what it is right now, other than, again, some of you may also experience that energy. So now this is for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Again, I apologize. And as a reminder, Taurus, again, this card really represents you and your energy. So I think of all the signs, you may, in fact, feel it the strongest. And then I would say Virgo, because again, represents the planet Venus, and Venus does enter the planet Virgo. The planet Venus does enter the sign of Virgo this week. Capricorn gets freed up in terms of energies too when Saturn goes direct this week. Its ruler, which is currently retrograde there, but to my recollection, Saturn has no connection to Venus this week. All right, so anyway, so the Empress is a super sexy card. Venus rules abundance. So this is, like abundance of love, first and foremost. And the Empress is very fertile. So it can represent actual pregnancy. Somebody may be giving birth this week. Maybe you didn't expect to, but you go into labor this week. Or, if you're the man in the situation, in the equation, your woman goes into labor this week, or discovers that you're pregnant, or if you've been wanting to get pregnant, you've been trying and you've been unsuccessful, this is a very good week to try. You may have a lot of suitors. If this is representing you and your energy, a lot of people that are interested in you, you're just sort of exuding femininity and sex, and it's just like dripping off of you. And you got to be, or you should be, strategic about how you use the energy, because it's super, super potent this this energy of femininity. If you're dealing with somebody who is like a king of swords, you will be the most successful out of all of us, because the way to counter that really strong, opinionated, again, masculine, often to a fault, kind of energy, just real macho man sort of stuff, man's man sort of stuff, is with the feminine wiles. So you should have a very good time sort of taming him if you're dealing with one. If you are single and looking for love, then this can be the time when, again, very real, true love. If we even know what that means, but because some of us have never even experienced that before. We've had relationships, we might have thought we were in love, but this is like real, true love, not no bullshit. Again, possibly even soulmate, twin flame, divine union, could be coming your way very, very soon. And if you are single and not looking, then it may find you anyway, with the Empress showing up. Committed relationships get a lot deeper and just more real, again, more balanced, more fair, more equitable, more equal, just like the Two of Wands suggests. So again, this can also, you could be finding out that this is like the real deal for you, or the one for you. Really, your relationship could really be progressing this week. The warning with this card is to not get it carried away with just like the emotional and or maybe sexy or sex, intimacy part of the Empress's energy, because even just in consideration of her energy, balance is needed, balance is required. All right, so moving on to us air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the Eight of Cups in reverse, and we may be wanting to end a long-term relationship. The Eight of Cups says that we should probably think about it first, though, before we do that. And just give us some real thought. Sometimes when we're like, we find our relationships difficult, those are the things and about the relationship and the parts of the relationship for which we really need to stay, or they need to stay with us, that we need to work through in some sort of way and learn a lesson from. And you may ultimately end up leaving, but at least if you really consider it and weigh the pros and cons and do it in a calm and sensible manner, like a clear-headed, thinking things through, which we should be good at. Okay, in fact, we overthink, right? Air signs. When you have having a moment of clarity and maybe to yourself, peace or something like that, really, really deciding if this is what you want or not, and then you know how to take action. The air sign knows how to cut somebody off, if it's not serving them, or how to be more endearing if it is. So you'll figure it out. If you are single, then similar to what I said to some of the other signs, you got to get out there. What I said to the fire signs, for example, you have to take some sort of action toward your love life and become like engaged in society, not just staying at home hoping that love shows up at the door. And last but not least, the water signs. Your card is the Hermit, whether he's upright or in reverse. Again, this is a card that most specifically in love talks about a relationship from your past being rekindled. Whether you, water sign, are going after an ex, or they are coming after you, or you're just being brought together in some very odd way. I remember we didn't end up getting together or back together, but one of my exes from when I was like 19 years old, I was in like this discount store, bent over, looking for, I don't know, some sort of cheap product, right? I'm literally bent over in the store, and he calls my name, and I'm like, did you recognize me by my ass? Like, what the hell? And we started laughing. But, so that just brought together by no one is attempting to find the other. It just happens sometimes. In other cases, we're going after it. Now, This can be you maybe specifically looking to get involved with a Virgo with this hermit energy showing up. Or I actually know off the top of my head, I can think already of three guys that I know that are water and Virgo. I know a Virgo that with a Pisces moon. I know a Libra Virgo cuspian with a Pisces moon and rising. And I know a Scorpio with a Virgo moon. I'm sure there's many, many more of those types of combinations. And so that could be the situation too. Why the hermit is showing up by you. You're slipping into that Virgo side. Maybe you're being affected by the Venus entering there, and the fact if you're a Scorpio that Mercury is entering there too. So you got Mercury, which is Virgo's ruler. You got all those things going on within you, inside of you, um, causing all kinds of shifts around you and stuff like that. Or the hermit energy could be showing up for you, and you're not a Virgo at all, and you're a Cancer, or you're um but you're doing some introspection and you're thinking about your life, and again, perhaps whether or not you're interested in your ex. If something does seem like it's trying to rekindle itself, is that what you want? Relationships aren't even necessarily your priority right now. And if the general reading has anything to say about it, relationships are not your priority right now. Work is, or your finances, or your security, and wondering, where that's going to come from. There's good news in the general reading, by the way, in terms of work and finances. Very good news. So it's up to you to think about whether or not this is what you want, and of course go for it if it is, because we could be talking again real deal. And how many times does opportunity knock? Do you get that chance for soulmate, for divine union, for twin flame? It doesn't just keep coming and knocking, right? When we pass it by, or each time we let it go, the connection maybe weakens. If it's not something that, if it's something that involves free will, that's not like just 100% destined and karmic, and of the universe where we're going to end up together one way or another, we have free will, then each time we may become a little bit less interested, right? Okay, now I'm going to do something that, again, that I did in the general reading. Now, this spread is a little bit different than the general reading. Again, the first card is the card that most directly represents us during the week. The second is surrounding energy. The third is work and finance. And the fourth is love and relationship. And now, of course, it's broken down by elements, with this being fire, earth, air, and water. But in the general, what I did with this deck, which is my fortune teller cards, is pull one card for each placement. I'm going to do the same again now, beginning with Sun. But if we think about it in terms of the tarot, Sun represents the sign of Sagittarius most directly, but the Sun rules the sign of Leo. It brings us clarity, right? The Sun illuminates things. So where something that was done in the dark comes to light. This card says, open your heart to the enormous growth ahead, because it has all these flowers and things. But we could definitely come into some sort of information, enlightenment, clarity, maybe about something again, or somebody that's not doing right, Let me shuffle these a little bit. So first, opening to Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. Sun. Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Sun. Judgment. Soul searching will bring inner peace, maybe especially for the water signs. Again, judgment in the tarot represents the sign of Scorpio, most specifically. This is going to bring inner peace to the many areas of your life. I'll do one more. And it is Star, which in the tarot, the star most directly represents the sign of Aquarius, and is all about our prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. It's a card of manifestation and law of attraction. Can also be about communication. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Star. Wow. We've come to marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. All right. So one card for each placement right off the top, with marriage as the overall energy. Fire signs. Your card is Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. So some of you, again, may be thinking about possibly getting out of a relationship. This is going to help you to decide what to do. Earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Wow, it goes perfect with Venus. Venus is the goddess and planet of love. Love and abundance is what she rules. Basically, love and money. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. That's the perfect card for Venus. Seriously. Well, for the Empress. Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The world. Be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. That's good because we're leaving old possibilities behind, right? With this 8 of Cups, like walking away from stuff. And last but not least, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Maybe to bring them back into your life and make them new again from your past. Celebrations. And now I'll do an advice card from each of these. Let me move these out of the way. And I'll do the spreads like from the masculine perspective and all that kind of stuff in the Aries full moon reading, I think. Just feeling like switching everything up this week. Well, I didn't shuffle these in front of you, but it's about a fresh start. We're beginning with the Ace of Cups, falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship. So again, an ex coming back or something is possible, if not something brand new. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition are also possible, maybe even a new home. King of Swords behind that, but in reverse. Oh wait, our King of Swords was in reverse too. Yeah, he was in reverse too. So I'm just mixing those up. That leaves us with the Chariot in front for the moment. Major Arcana card 7. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. Oh, that's the advice. I was like, where did this come from? From this today. Okay. Overall energy is now the 7 of Cups. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. So again, we'll think about it. We shouldn't overthink, though. You guys need to think about what you're going to do. But don't overthink. You got to think about who you want, and because you got so many choices, and whether you want anybody, because they're coming, and you got to think about your relationships and what you're willing to put into them. And behind it is yet another 7, the 7 of Wands. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So this guides you to make a decision. And this says once you do make a decision, unless you decide for yourself that you want to change your mind, stand your ground. Don't let anybody change your mind for you. Whoa. Y'all saw me cut and shuffle and all that kind of stuff. 7, 7, 7. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. So this is going to be speaking to the people that I said might be up to no good that are around you, or it can be about you, needing to take a risk and a leap of faith and not, allow an opportunity to pass you by because you're stuck in fear. Right behind that is the Princess of Autumn, or the Page of Pentacles, who is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or a scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. Maybe some of you are going to decide, again, you're more interested in work right now. Maybe that's for the water signs that I was just talking about a moment ago, then relationship is possible. With the Page of Pentacles, it's not a very sexy card or relationship card. In terms of love, it's usually about, like for those that are already involved in some sort of relationship, you're over it. You're bored with your relationship. You want out. You hate it, really. And so maybe you will consider your ex because you're sort of over the one that you're in. Or if you're single, you're sort of, again, disinterested in relationships right now. But again, there is an opportunity knocking with the Page of Wands immediately behind it. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. And what's funny is the Page of Wands was behind the Hermit in the general reading.
Because of that, I thought...
And that's the last card upright. I apologize for the random noises that came in. All right. One card from each of these decks. So I'm just looking for a card from the other deck now. It's so funny the way I shuffle these up that sometimes so many from one deck end up together. Okay, there we go. So, masculine. From the Angel Tarot, your card is another Hermit. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Again, the Hermit most directly represents the sign of Virgo. It is about looking for the truth, looking for clarity. It's a very spiritual card. Feminine, our card is the Page of Cups, who is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship can begin a new phase, or heightened psychic abilities come with this card. Page of Cups may be younger than you, or somebody that is youthful or young looking, or combinations of those. And or a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's about a nice text, some sort of offer of love, emotion, happiness, joy, nice text, a phone call, a polite greeting, something in the mail, something that puts a smile on your face, makes you happy, invitation out, a date, or something like that. Masculine, your card is the Four of Swords. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Again, somebody does have a decision to make. Remember our overall energies just a moment ago. 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a solution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers you seek. And here you have the guidance to do just that, right? The meditation and prayer with the Hermit. 4 of Swords can also be about planning for a vacation, the way that I pick up the energy. And feminine, we got another Cups card. It is the 3 of Cups. This is another card for me of reunion, reconciliation, reuniting. Also celebration, the need to be social. Again, if you're in your house but you're wanting to meet somebody, you got to get out. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. And lastly, from the Fortune deck for the masculine, card is wish. Your heart's desire is ready to come true. You got to figure out what your heart's desire is. And lastly, for the feminine, but not least, oh, it's another lovers. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. So similar to the lover's card in the tarot, it can be about a heart versus head decision is the way I like to describe it. Like your heart's telling you one thing and your head's telling you another thing. So that's two paths or two choices. This is saying there's two ways to go. It could be something like that, like the heart versus head. It could be two potential lovers from which to choose. Maybe your current, your ex, staying single and working versus looking for love and going after it. Taking a risk versus not taking a risk and staying stuck in fear and letting an opportunity pass by. All different, possibilities for the two paths. Choose wisely. But if you get the choice, as the song says, to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. All right. So on that note, we will end this reading. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. I do appreciate it. I'll be back with the moon reading soon. Namaste.